Now this is going to be a special blend that is either going to work really, really well or go horribly wrong. It's special because a lot of the produce that I'm going to use is the last of the harvest, the winter harvest from the allotment. The reason it might not work is I'm going to be juicing some strange things. I'm going to juice a leek, which may or may not go so well. I'm also going to juice an onion, which is left over from last year, which sort of needs using up. Now, I do not know how that's going to work. I'm going to chop up the leek so it's only got the little white bit, and I'm going to take as much peel off the onion as possible. It's quite probable that I won't get hardly any juice from any of it. It's also reasonably possible that it may taste absolutely awful. But I'm going to have a go anyway. So there we are. Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is that we're not going to try the onions because I'm afraid all the onions that I have left are actually soft and squidgy now. They are last year's. They've lasted a long time. I've had quite a number of them, but they have really finished, so I'm not going to do that. What am I going to do? Well, I'm already cutting up plums and almost cut off one of my fingers just then, which was rather nice. It's not bleeding, thank goodness, but there we are. What else? So I've put in a plum. I'm going to put in a kiwi as well, and I have to say I am not going to peel that. I'm just going to put that in, cut the ends off and put it in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. There we are. Pop those two things in, there we are. What else? I'm going to do, oh yes, I did say a leek, and I am going to do a leek. Might have to wash this, hang on. Just chop that off there. Chop that off. It's a leak from our allotment, so I'll see what that's like in a minute. We just wash this, get all the dirt off it, because it is very fresh. Well, fresh as in it's homegrown. So there we are. Do you see? You can make them all shiny and nice. Not a speck of dirt on that. My finger still hurts, even though I haven't actually cut it off. And that's what I'm going to put in to begin with. So where's my little plunger? And away we go. There we are. Let's see how much comes out of that. Oh, lots and lots and lots. There we are, that's lovely. Can't actually do it. Oh, and it smells of leek. It's either going to taste lovely or horrible. I'm going to put a load of green grapes in as well, just to see what will happen. So, there we go. I've seen most of the leek around there, so I don't think that really worked very well. Maybe it'll get a bit of the spicy flavour of it though, I don't know. We'll have to see. I also have rhubarb from my own allotment. I'm going to wash that, but I'm going to chop off the ends. You have to be careful with rhubarb because the leaves are poisonous, in fact. Must not eat the big green leaves. So you cut them off, obviously, before you do anything with it, but then you also have to cut off a certain amount of the sort of stem that's around it, and that I haven't done yet, so I must remember to do that before I put it in the juicer, otherwise there'll be problems. So there we are, that's quite a lot of grapes that's gone in there. Again, these are grapes donated to me by my nan. She seems to buy them and then not eat them, which is fine because then at the end of the week they are a bit soft. She doesn't want them anymore, and so I have them. So nothing is wasted, really. Let's pop that in. course that produces an awful lot of juice, in fact. So next is going to be my rhubarb, and I am going to just have to cut off a certain amount of the stem, because the last thing I want to do is poison myself. There we are. It's lovely, is this rhubarb. I might just be about to destroy it by, not just by blending it, but by putting it with that leek. Slightly concerned because the whole kitchen smells of leek. I have the remnants of a cold, and that is the only thing that I can smell, and I'm thinking, oh my god, have I made a terrible mistake? Well, I don't know. The other thing is that this is quite fibrous actually, so there may not be much juice to come out of this. I don't know how that will work, to be fair. We'll see what happens. I maybe should have boiled it first, but that sort of defeats the object if you have to cook them before you do anything with them. So anyway, it's going to be an awfully long thing. I'm going to put it on the highest setting as well. That's all I'm going to get from that, I think. It's pretty much just, there's a lot of fibre in there. I might have to empty that. So the final thing I'm putting in is a whole red grapefruit. Obviously I have taken the peel off that. We're going to see what that does. That should fill it up. There we are. Lashings and lashings of juice coming out there, which has pretty much filled it up. It's an interesting colour, it's sort of red and green, so I'm going to have to stir that in a minute, I think. Dying to see what this tastes like, because it could be really, really horrible, or it could be very, very nice. So I'll give it a stir, and it goes, ooh, it goes a peachy colour. That's a new one, isn't it? It's sort of like a peachy colour. It's a bit like a milkshake. Now this has to be tasted to be believed, I think. So here we go. Get my little tasting cup out. That's what we're looking at. It's, oops, where are we? Orangey. It's very nice. It's very sweet, and you do get the sort of sharpness. You do get a twang of leek. You do get a twang of leek. That is fabulous.